All the way. You're gonna win.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dan Williams, and on behalf of George Langevin Productions, I'd like to welcome you to Mira del Sol Ballpark. Today's Prep Sports Highlight Game of the Week, the ARCO AM/PM Division I Softball Championship. Today's championship game puts the Mount Carmel Sun Devils against the Knights of San Marcos. Starting off with the roster and the starting players for Mount Carmel Sun Devils. At first base, number 7, Allison Felony. At second base, Jen Tandrich. Tandrich at second base. Playing shortstop for today, number 2, Casey O'Neill. O'Neill at shortstop. At third base, Rochelle Biber. Biber, number 3 at third base. Starting in left field, number 5, Aaron Ron. Ron in left field. In center field, wearing number 10, Natalie Walker. Walker, number 10 in center field. Playing right field for Mount Carmel is number 8, Wendy Hanlon. Hanlon in right field. Behind the plate, catching, Brandy Chavez, number 4 behind the plate. Number 4, Brandy Chavez. And starting pitcher for today's game, Mount Carmel Sun Devils leading pitcher, number 12, senior, Kelly Warner. Warner, the starting pitcher. Starting players for the San Marcos Knights at first base, number 11, Kim McCaskey. McCaskey, first base. At second base is number 13, Alexis Gutierrez. Gutierrez at second base. At shortstop, number 10, Stacy Radke. Radke at shortstop. Playing third base for the Knights, number 9, Christy Hamilton. Hamilton at third base. Outfielders for today's game for the San Marcos Knights. In left field, number 1, Rachel Lancaster. That's Lancaster in left field. Playing center field is number 8, Jackie Jimenez. Jimenez in center field. Playing in right field for today's game, wearing number 2 is Chrissy Wells. Wells in right field. Behind the plate, catching duties today, number 15, Amy Dent. Dent at catcher. And starting pitcher for today's game, sophomore standout, number 3, Jessica Jenkins. That's Jenkins, starting pitcher for the San Marcos Knights. We'll be back in just a moment for the start of this game. It's Division I Championship Baseball. Mount Carmel Sun Devils, San Marcos Knights. We'll be right back.
Jim Valesco. At third base, Mark Hunt. And behind the plate, May Mason.
We are about ready to get underway here. Mira del Sol Ballpark. It's Mount Carmel Sun Devils versus San Marcos Knights. First pitch on the way. Nice bunt. Called safe. Nice stretch. Alexis Gutierrez with a perfect lay-down bunt. With her quick speed, she gets on to first base. And there's a quick runner at first for the San Marcos Knights. Top of the first inning, 0-0 score. Alexis Gutierrez the first batter, and she makes it safely to first base. Now stepping in is number 10, Stacy Radke. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss. That's strike one. Stacy had a good swing at the pitch. Staying on first base is Alexis Gutierrez. Count, no balls and one strike. Just got underway. The weather here is absolutely beautiful. Earlier today, rain was threatening, although it never did happen. Same pitch, this time Stacy Radke lays off of it, and the count goes now to 1-1. So earlier today, clouds were threatening. We had rain yesterday here, but precipitation never came about. And now the clouds have moved out, and we've got beautiful sunny skies. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Bunted in the air and caught. Nice play by Brandy Chavez on that play. Ball went straight up in the air. She threw off her mask. Ball came down intermid, and that's one away. Alexis stays at first. So now we have Rachel Lancaster coming up. Rachel Lancaster, left fielder for the San Marcos Knights. Pitch high. Quick throw back to first, and the umpire calls safe. So ball one on the first pitch to Rachel. So the skies are blue, the sun is out, we're enjoying a nice day. We do have a stiff breeze coming in from center field. It's been here all day long, caused havoc on the fly balls out there. Swinging a foul back. Stiff breeze coming in from center field, and we haven't seen any balls carry at all. As a matter of fact, they've died as they've gotten up into the air. And so that's going to remain a problem for hitters today as we go through this ball game. Swing and a miss. It's important for both pitchers at this time to start off strong, start off with accuracy, start off with speed. Usually, it's accuracy is the biggest problem in the first few innings, and that's what we're looking at right now. Ball's high. So the count goes to 2-2. So Alexis Gutierrez lays down a bunt, gets on first base. Stacy Radke was up, and there's a shot into left field. Picked up on one hop by Aaron Ron, and that's a single base hit for Rachel Lancaster. So that moves Alexis Gutierrez over to second base. Rachel Lancaster with a solid double to left field. So Rachel Lancaster ends up with a solid single to left field, puts her on first base. Alexis Gutierrez is now at second. We do have one away. And now up to bat is Kim McCaskey. Kim playing first base for the San Marcos Knights. Ball gets past the catcher and everybody advances. So it's important at this time for Mount Carmel to settle down, for Kelly Warner to make sure she keeps control, that the defense keeps composure. One out, runners at second and third. Ball one is the count against Kim McCaskey. Control, as I said earlier, is the issue for both pitchers early in the game. Right down the middle, fastball, strike one call. So it's 1-1 to Kim McCaskey. And that's exactly what Kelly Warner wants to do. Kelly now wearing number 12. She's a senior, and a senior standout it is. Kelly. Bunted in the air, caught, and doubled up. Nice play. That's the end of the first half of the first inning. No score, and Mount Carmel will be up to bat next. So Natalie Walker, number 10, steps up to the plate for Mount Carmel, and we'll get under with the second half of the first inning. So what happened in the last play? Kim McCaskey fouled up, straight up into the air, and it was the catcher, Brandy Chavez, as a strike is called. So Brandy Chavez, for the second time in the inning, catches a pop fly and then quickly throws the ball down to the third base, where Alexis Gutierrez could not get back in time, and she was called for the third out. Ball high called, so it's now 1-1. So that was a quick heads-up play by Chavez as she throws down the third base side. Rachel Biber putting the force tag on the play. There's a shot. So Natalie Walker takes a shot back up the middle that deflects off the pitcher, Jessica Jenkins, and dribbles into left field. And that will be a base hit for Natalie Walker. As you can hear on the sidelines, the dugout is filled with spirit for Mount Carmel. And they want to carry that through inning after inning to a win for themselves and be crowned the softball championship winners for Division I. Jen Tandrich with a nice bunt, and she does the job. She advances Natalie Walker to second base. So there's a sacrifice bunt by Jen Tandrich that moves Natalie Walker over to second base. We've got one out, and that brings up number 12, Kelly Warner, to the plate. And you can hear the Mount Carmel team warming up. Ball low. Natalie Walker taking a big jump as the pitch is released from Jessica Jenkins. Swing and a miss, an attempted steal, and he's called out of there. Kelly Warner at bat, and Natalie Walker at second base trying to make a steal on an attempted run, and it was called out by the umpire, so that's going to be out number 2. Natalie Walker trying to squeeze herself into third base. Not to happen, as the third base umpire was right on the play. Excellent throw by Amy Dent down the third base line. Christy Hamilton putting a nice tag on the play, and now it's 2 out. Strike called. So Kelly Warner now up at bat, no runners on base. Natalie Walker with the attempted steal. Change up and strike 3. That's the third out. That's called pulling the string, as Jessica Jenkins did right there, throwing fastballs. After 1 inning of play, the score is Mount Carmel 0, San Marcos 0. Wait a minute. We are back. First pitch on the way, called strike at the knees. That's number 15, Amy Dent, receiving the strike. So we're at the top of the second inning. 0-0 is the score. Mount Carmel is outfield. Strike 2 on a low one. Kelly Warner on the mound, senior and standout for Mount Carmel. Kelly Warner posting a 14-6 record during the entire season. Fouled up and out of play. The count will remain 0-2. So it's Kelly Warner, senior, with a 14-6 overall record and doing a great job for Mount Carmel. Now the Mount Carmel Sun Devils, their overall season record is 11-3, came in first place in the Palomar League. Foul back out of play. Overall record for the Mount Carmel Sun Devils is 19-8. Rated second coming into the playoffs in Division I. Marina Galt, the head coach, and doing a great job. So Amy Dick took a swing at the ball. Ball got away from the catcher, Brandy Chavez. So Brandy picked it up and put a toss to Allison Felony. And so the play goes 2-3 on that one. And that's out number 1 for the Knights. And that'll be bringing up Jackie Jimenez, number 8 center fielder for San Marcos. Quick inside pitch and called ball 1 for Jackie. So Jackie plays center field, wears the same number as her position. That's number 8. And that goes up against Natalie Walker for Mount Carmel. Outfielders for Mount Carmel in left field, number 5, Aaron Ron. Strike on the inside corner. 1-1 is the count. Center fielder for Mount Carmel, well, we just mentioned that, Natalie Walker, wearing number 10. And in right field, number 8, Wendy Hanlon. Little inside. So the ball count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike to Jackie. Infield, Rochelle Biber, number 3 on third base. There's a solid shot, drifting foul down the third baseline. Jackie got around quickly on that one, straightened that one out, and it could have been trouble in the corner. Foul is the call, and so Jackie just took a shot with the ball coming in from left field, ricocheted off her helmet, and that's why we've got helmets here. One of the reasons. She's okay. Helps to loosen everybody up because this is a very pressure-filled game. This is the ARCO AM/PM Division I Softball Championships. High. So the winner of this game today, well, they'll be the Division I Softball Champions for the CIF section here in San Diego County. Ball is high, and that's ball 4. And so down to first base goes Jackie Jimenez with the base on balls. That'll be Christy Hamilton then coming up next. Christy Hamilton. Christy playing third base for the San Marcos Knights. So we have Jackie Jimenez at first base. Christy Hamilton now coming up to bat, making sure her footing is nice and solid in the batter's box. And here comes a pitch from Kelly Warner. Time is called by the blue. He has to make sure that he gets ready as well. And ready the Sun Devils are. We've been hearing over the first 2 innings a lot of spirit, a lot of cheers, a lot of encouragement for their team out of the field. Inside at the shoulders. Call it ball 1. So Mount Carmel got here to the playoffs by doing 3 things. They won their Palomar League division, 11-3 overall record. That's first place. Same pitch at the chest inside. So that's 2 balls and no strikes. So they came in first place. As we said, 19-8 overall is their record. Going into the quarterfinals, it was Mount Carmel against Helix. Winning pitcher for Mount Carmel in a 3-2 decision. Strike on the inside corner. 3rd time in a row she had the pitch. This time it was a little lower and caught the inside corner, so that's going to be strike 1. So the final score for the Mount Carmel Helix game was 3-2. The winning pitchers, who you see on the mound right now, doing most of the duties all year long, is Kelly Warner.
Go, 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 go! Down!
Heads up play by Kelly Warner on that one. The force was on at second base. Kelly turned around and threw to Jen Tandrich to get the force out at second base. And so Jackie Jimenez is out at second base on a throw from 1 to 4, and that's out number 2 for the Knights. Chris Hamilton on a fielder's choice actually goes to first base. And now Jessica Jenkins, number 3, takes ball 1. So 2 outs here in the top of the 2nd inning. And that time the ball is low. Christy Hamilton on at first base. So the quarterfinals were won by Mount Carmel, winning pitcher Kelly Warner 3-2 over Helix. As a strike is called right down the middle at the chest. Can't get much better than that. Jessica now goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Then going into the semifinals, it was Mount Carmel. Hot shot. Good job by the first base coach taking that ball. Late on the swing was Jessica Jenkins. Fouls it off. Sharp shot. Now it's 2-2. So Mount Carmel was up against San Dieguito, one of the top-rated teams. Now there's a shot deep left field. Aaron Ron runs under it nicely and makes the third out. So it was a nice shot by Jessica Jenkins, not far enough, caught by Aaron Ron, and that does it for the first half of the second inning. Score still 0-0. Casey O'Neill at the plate. Takes ball. Casey O'Neill wearing number 2 and playing shortstop for Mount Carmel Sun Devils. So now it's the Knights' turn out in the outfield. We are in the bottom half of the second inning. 0-0 is the score. Casey O'Neill taking ball 1 and into the plate. Trying to drag bunt, it goes foul, and so that'll be strike 1. So now let's talk about San Marcos Knights, how they got to the championship game. San Marcos Knights, coached by Lynn Gahn, finished their season record in league play at 14-0, first place. Only the 3rd time in history that a team in the Avocado League has gone undefeated in league play. So we congratulate the Knights. Coming on strong, that's Rachel Lancaster with an easy out. So that's a fly to left field. And 1 down now for Mount Carmel. Up to bat is now Rochelle Biber. Who is?
That's Jenny D'Anfani. She's sitting for herself.
Ball 1. And so hitting for Rochelle Biber is Jenny DeMofonte. Jenny, designated hitter for Rochelle Biber. He takes ball. So Jenny doesn't play out in the field that much. At least in this game, she's designated as the hitter for Rochelle Biber. So we'll take ball 2 for that. 13 is the number she wears. Again, hitting for Biber. Takes ball 3. So San Marcos Knights, winners of the Avocado League, overall record as commanding 21-4. Strike at the knees. 3 balls and 1 strike is the count. So in their quarterfinals match, it was San Marcos against Poway, with San Marcos winning easily 5-0. There's strike 2 again. The count now goes full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes for Jenny DeMofonte. So San Marcos winning 5-0, and the winning pitcher who you see on the mound, sophomore standout Jessica Jenkins. Into the air, calling it off is Stacy Radke, and that's out number 2. So that's fly as number 6. Stacy Radke calling it off and taking the ball. And that's out number 2 as we're still in the second half of the second inning. And now it's number 7, Allison Felony, up to bat. So going into the semifinal match, low at the knees. They're calling it a strike, so there's strike 1 against Allison. So in the semifinals match, it was San Marcos against RBV, Rancho Buena Vista. San Marcos squeaking out a win, 1-0. Count 1-1. Winning pitcher in that match as well was Jessica Jenkins. Shot, nice one-hop grab, and taken nicely by number 10, Stacy Radke. That ends the full 2 innings of play. It's still no score. The house is filled with fans all over. You can see now the spectators sitting out in the galley next to the scoreboard here. And now we have the batter up. First pitch is low to Chrissy Wells, number 2. So we're in the top half of the third inning, no score. Chrissy Wells, the batter, playing right field, wearing number 2. Ball 1's called. Inside, ball 2. So comparing the two pitchers here, we've got Jessica Jenkins winning the quarterfinals game as well as the semifinals game. Her overall record, a fantastic 17-2. That's a ball called. Comparing that to pitcher on record for Mount Carmel, who you see out there, Kelly Warner. That's ball 4, and Chrissy Wells will go down to first base on balls. So Kelly Warner herself, winner of the quarterfinals match, and then coming back and winning the quarterfinals game against San Diego 1-0. Kelly Warner winning the last 2 playoff games herself. Her overall record, 14-6. So we have 2 of the top domineering pitchers in Division I competition right here. So Alexis Gutierrez takes the first pitch in ball 1. And Alexis now going to try and put the ball into play to make something happen. Infield for Mount Carmel, Casey O'Neill, number 2 at shortstop. Jen Tandrich, second base. First base and third base. As you can see, Allison Felony and Rochelle Biber waiting for the bunt. In softball play all day today, it's been the bunt that's been the deciding factor in getting the runs in scoring position. And the case is here the same. Here's the pitch. Strike called. So 2 balls and 1 strike is the count to Alexis Gutierrez. Chrissy Wells, base on balls and ready to take off at first base. Infield in tight. Low again. 3-1 is the count. Something that Kelly Warner does not want to do a lot today, and that means making herself work extra hard. 3-1, putting the batter in a favorite position, putting pressure on the team. Big swing and a miss by Alexis Gutierrez. So that brings the count to full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The one thing that Kelly will tell you, though, is she's not afraid of running counts full. She'd like not to, but she knows she's got a good defense behind her, both in the infield and the outfield, and she's ready to let them make those defensive plays. So that's ball 4. 2 consecutive base on balls by Kelly Warner, and now it's a team meeting to settle Kelly down. So that means Chrissy Wells will now move to second base. Alexis Gutierrez will be on first, base on balls. And coming up will be number 10, Stacy Radke. Stacy Radke at the plate, takes ball high. And now Kelly Warner struggling a little bit in control, trying to find the strike zone for Mount Carmel. Stacy Radke, shortstop for the Knights of San Marcos. Ball 2. So once again, Kelly Warner digging herself into a hole. Runners at first and second. We have no outs. We'll see what Kelly Warner can do. Defense is ready. Allison Felony, first base. Rochelle Biber, third base, up close. Strike called. 2 balls, 1 strike to Stacy Radke. Runners at first and second. And it's Kelly Warner who must continue to throw the ball across the plate. 4 strikes. It's either call strike or let the defense take the ball and put the out. Pop-up being called by Rochelle Biber, and she makes the play. That's exactly what the Mount Carmel Sun Devils wanted to do, was to get that first out, and that was the type of play they had wanted. So that's a fly ball and an easy out by Rochelle Biber. So we've got 1 away here in the top of the third inning. 0-0 is the score. But we've got the San Marcos Knights with the scoring threat One away. We've got runners at first and second. Alexis Gutierrez at first. Chrissy Wells at second. And there's a ball that's fouled back for strike one. It's Rachel Lancaster at the plate, left fielder for San Marcos Knights, taking a tough swing as it's fouled back. Mount Carmel Sun Devils. They've got an interesting makeup of team plates. Ball one. They've got 10 sophomores on the team, 2 juniors and 2 seniors. And what that means is that Mount Carmel is going to be a strong competitor in the CIF finals for years to come. Shot. Nice play by Rochelle Biber and Casey O'Neill. Hot shot down the third baseline. And a 5-6 play. Good job to Rochelle and Casey. And you can tell that's something that they've practiced many times before. And boy, oh boy, they needed that one right now. 2 down now. Kim McCaskey up. So Rachel Lancaster pretty much reaches first base on a fielder's choice. Forced out at third base as ball is called low. So Alexis Gutierrez moves over to second. The force was on Chrissy Wells at third base. And so we have 2 down, and here's the pitch. Just a little high. So it's 2 balls and no strikes. And Kim McClaskey looks. Kim McClaskey, first baseman for the San Marcos Knights. Strike called on the inside corner at the knees. 2 balls, 1 strike is the count. Still in the top half of the third inning. 2 down now. Runners still at first and second. First base, Rachel Lancaster. And at second base, and now the count is 3 balls and 1 strike. And at second base is Alexis Gutierrez. Kim McClaskey looking to put the ball into play and move these runners up, if not to score. Good, strong swing by Kim McClaskey. Fouled off. So now the count goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes, full count. Runners will be ready to go as we've got 2 outs. And the Mount Carmel defense is ready. Alexis Felony, Rochelle Biber up close, ready for the bunts. Outfielders in ready position. Fouled off again. Shadows starting to come across right field as the big willow-type trees in right field that actually outline the entire outfield start to draw the setting sun here. Kind of a late start getting into this game. The game before this in the Division III was running about an hour late, so scheduled time originally. Strike 3, big swing and a miss by Kim McCaskey, and what was going to be a dangerous inning comes out to be no score. So after 2.5 innings of play, still no score. So it's Aaron Ron stepping up to the plate to take the first pitch from Jessica Jenkins. And it's called low and ball 1. Aaron Ron playing left field, wearing number 5. And once again, it's Mount Carmel building up some team spirit in the dugout as they try and motivate Aaron Ron to get a hit. A high pitch to the outside, and it was Aaron Ron jumping on that ball. Hooking foul down the right field line, left field line, down the third base side. It'll be 1-1. We go into the next pitch. So now we're in the bottom half of the third inning. 0-0 is the score. And you've got Kim McCaskey and Christy Hamilton. And it was a jumper. That was a nice shot. What had happened on that play is you had Christy Hamilton in close waiting for a bunt, and it was Aaron Ron with a full swing, and that ball just bounced right up and over Hamilton at third base and gave the quick and speedy Aaron Ron a chance to get to first base. So that is a single for Aaron Ron on at first base. And coming up now to bat is number 4, the catcher, Brandy Chavez. Christy Hamilton and Kim McCaskey, third and first basemen for the Knights, are still up close, waiting for a possible bunt. Aaron Ron safely on at first and ready to take off. Full swing by Brandy. And so that puts the count at 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Attempted bunt by Brandy. Takes it for a strike. So you've got Jessica Jenkins on the mound, who is only a sophomore, having a tremendous year for the Knights. 17-2 overall. And just think, she's got 2 more seasons to play on top of this. Soft hit by Brandy to the second baseman, but she does the job in getting Aaron Ron over to second. The play goes 4-3 on that one, and that's out number 1 for Mount Carmel, but Brandy did what she wanted to do, and that was get Aaron now into scoring position. Aaron Ron now at second base, 1 down, and that'll bring up number 8, Wendy Hamilton. Wendy now batting left-handed. Time called by Wendy. Once again, you have McCaskey and Hamilton up close to cut off the bunt. Rest of the field, the infield in regular depth play. Fielders straight away and set. Wendy taking a ball to the hand. And she's okay. So she'll trot down to first base by a hit pitch. That's actually the first hit pitch that we've seen today anyway. It was a very fast pitch to the inside, and Wendy got fooled a little bit, just wasn't able to pull back in time. That's the thing that you see at this level, is that the batter actually has less than 2 seconds to actually decide what she's going to do, whether she's going to bat, hold off, or get out of the way. So stepping now in is Natalie Walker, number 10. Natalie got a single, her first bat up, and she's going to see what she can do here. Runners at first and second now, 1 away, and they're going to call ball 1. This is the first true scoring opportunity and a good option for Mount Carmel. Only 1 away, runners at first and second. And Natalie Walker, who got on base with a single coming up in the first inning, is going to try and do the job right here. So once again, the play goes 4-3. And once again, the runners advance to second and third. So that's 2 down now for Mount Carmel. Runners now at second and third. And it's going to be up to Jen Tandrich to see what she can do. Full swing by Jen Tandrich, but she fouls it straight up in the air. Taken by number 11, Kim McCaskey, and that'll do it for Mount Carmel. Still no score after 3. Amy Dent takes strike 1 as delivered by Kelly Warner. So we go into the top half of the 4th inning, 0-0 no score, and it's Amy Dent. up to bat. 1-1 is the count. So Amy laid down a bunt and was thrown out 2-3 her first time up. She takes high for ball 2. So we were talking earlier about the fact that our batters on both teams have only a split second to decide whether or not they're going to take a pitch or swing, just as the case right there. That's up high. So it's simply just through experience, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of balls that they've seen come across the plate. It's the brain that basically just decides whether it's on that flight pattern that they want to take a swing at. There's a swing. Foul ball called. Nice grab by Rochelle Biber at third base. It does go foul, and we'll do it again. So that's going to be strike on Amy. Full count, 3-2, nobody out. And Amy Dent will come back in there. Hard shot to third base. Thrown away by Rochelle Biber. It was a hot shot, one hopper. She picked it up nicely and just couldn't get on target with that. So that'll actually be an error called on Rochelle Biber. And the damage is done there as Amy Dent stays safely on first base. So an error on Rochelle Biber. Ball is low. So Jackie Jimenez up to plate, taking ball 1. No outs here in the top of the 4th inning. We've got Amy Dent on base with an error. There's a nice bunt taken and thrown out, and that play was taken by Kelly Warner going 1-3, and that's 1 down. But the job once you're in is done, sacrifice and getting Amy over to second base, and so there's going to be 1 down now. And that's Christy Hamilton. It's now up. Christy playing third base for the Knights. As the sun's starting to set here at Mira del Sol Ballpark, you start getting a little cooler weather as it's ball low. A little cooler weather. The breeze still coming in, although not as strong as it had been. Still coming in from the center field. Lighter wind, and of course as the sun sets, that's usually what happens here in Southern California as the wind starts to die, but it also means that the temperatures are starting to drop. Allison Felony and both Rochelle Biber up close for the bunt. Strike called. 1-1 is the count, and Kelly Warner trying to work her magic on Christy Hamilton. Inside. So it's Amy Dent who's staying on second base with no lead as the umpire calls 2 balls and 1 strike. No leadoff for Amy, although she's in the rocket position, a good takeoff, ball is high. Most of the players in the competitions today have use that type of format where they actually are back on their weight, back on their back foot as they can propel and move their body weight forward to get a good jump instead of leading off. Strike called. Right at the knees and right over the plate, and the count goes now full 3-2 to Christy Hamilton. 1 away, still in top half of the 4th inning. No score here in the Mount Carmel San Marcos championship game. Just high, and that's ball 4 for Christy Hamilton. So Christy now moves down to first base on a base on balls. Amy Dent stays at second base with 1 down. And now up is Jessica Jenkins, the pitcher. Up in the front part of the batter's box. Bunted attempt and foul. Mount Carmel defense on the move, coming up to try and cut any type of bunting attempt by Jessica. And that one went foul, so that's strike one. Jessica, only a sophomore, at 17-2, has an outstanding ERA during this 17-2 season of .21. Congratulations to Jessica. She takes a full swing, and that's strike two. Right now in her early career, .21 ERA would put her in the top 10 of all-time career leaders, but Jessica has a long career ahead of her. We know she'll do well. Shot up into the air, calling for it is Jen Tandrich, and makes the play. So a short fly stays in the infield. Jen Tandrich calls it and makes the play, and that's two down now. And that'll be Chrissy Wells now coming up to bat. Chrissy Wells, right fielder. In the third inning, it was Chrissy Wells getting on with the base on balls, forced out at second base for the second out of that inning. Chrissy standing up way in the front part of the box as she gets a fastball at the knees for strike one. Up in the air, calling for it, and making the catch was Kelly Warner. So that does it for the top half of the fourth inning. Still no score. Up at the plate, taking the first pitch, Casey O'Neill. Kelly Warner taking ball one. Kelly Warner taking a swing right back to Jessica Jenkins, who throws it in the dirt, but scooped up nicely by Kim McCaskey. So the play goes 1-3, and that's out number one for Mount Carmel. Coming up now, Casey O'Neill, number 2, shortstop for Mount Carmel. Casey flied out first time up as a strike is called against Casey. Flied out to the first baseman. Haven't had much of the balls hit out of the outfield. They've been short infield balls. There's a swing and a miss. That was a nice swing by Casey. Full swing. So there hasn't been many balls to the outfield. Actually, anything in the air primarily have been to the infield. Give credit to both Jessica and Kelly as well, keeping batters off balance. Chopper coming up strong and short. Safe as called. It was a chopper to Stacy Radke, who was charging, took the ball in hand and threw it across to Tim McCaskey, but it was the pure speed of Casey O'Neill who did the job. Casey beating out an infield single, and now Mount Carmel has a runner at first base and one out, and up to bat is Jenny Demofonte, batting as a designated hitter for Rachel Biber. Infield in deep, infield in close at the corners. First pitch is high to Jenny. So first time up for Jenny. She flied out to the shortstop, Stacy Radke. Now she'll see what she can do the second time around. Ball way high, gets past the catcher. And that's Casey O'Neill safely into second. Passed ball by Amy Dent. And Casey is now down to second and in scoring position. So it's 2-0 to Jenny Demofonte. Casey O'Neill down to second and 1 out. Bottom half of the fourth inning in this championship game, Mount Carmel Sun Devils against the San Marcos Knights. Defense up close. Strike called. 2 balls, 1 strike to Jenny Demofonte. So continually, it's Kim McCaskey, first base, and Christy Hamilton of the Knights up close, trying to cut off the bunt. And there's a good reason for that. There's a full swing. Calling for it is number 13. That's Alexis Gutierrez, who takes the fly ball into her own mitt, and that'll be out number 2. So it was flied out to the shortstop the first time up. This time it's a fly out to second base, and that will be out number 2 for Mount Carmel. Casey O'Neill staying at second base. Allison Felony now coming up to play first base, at the plate and ready to swing. Strike called. First time up, Allison hit a grounder to the shortstop, and the play went 6-3 for an out. So the San Marcos Knights on defense have actually been in a roll. Now they started out slow, started out with 3 wins and 2 losses, but finished the season strong, winning 18 of their last 20 games. There's a swing and a miss. 2 strikes. So what started out a concern in the first 5 games, playing just a little bit over 500, the afterburners were lit, and the San Marcos Knights were on their way to a fantastic season, winning 18 of 20 games and winning their Avocado League undefeated, 14-0. Ball is low. Casey O'Neill flirting with danger out there at second base, trying to draw a throw halfway so she can try and go for 3. So it's the Avocado League champs, the San Marcos Knights, who for only the 3rd time in the history of the Avocado League has been able to go undefeated, 14-0 in league play. There's a shot now to third base, and the throw over, and that's going to be out number 3. So the play there goes 5-3 and the final out. So that's a full 4 innings of play, and we still stand scoreless. We're in the top of the 5th inning, no score. San Marcos against Mount Carmel, and up to plate, number 13, Alexis Gutierrez. First time up, Alexis got on first base as she takes the ball. She got on first base in the 1st inning, only to be picked off at first base. In the 3rd inning, Alexis got on base on balls and was stranded at second. And now here she is up for her 3rd time today in this game, top of the 5th. Swinging shot. It's going to be a tough throw. Called safe. It was a combination of a drag bunt and a swing. And by the time the bat was dropped, she was almost 1/3 up the baseline. And give credit to Alexis, who put it on the afterburners and beat out the throw. So that's going to be a single for Alexis. And that's her 2nd single of the day in this game alone. So Alexis Gutierrez is on safely at first base, and it's now up to Stacy Radke to try and do the job. Stacy flying out to the catcher and then flying out to the 3rd baseman her first 2 times up, 0 for 2. Speed and defense, that's the key for Mount Carmel. This year winning their first Palomar title since 1991, going 11-3 in league play, 19-8 overall. Taking ball 2 is Stacy. And so what's amazing for Mount Carmel is that they've got 10 sophomores on the team, 2 juniors, which will be around next season. We only have 2 graduating seniors, and so they will definitely be a strong team for the future. So it's Stacy Radke now stepping back in. Close pitch, called the ball. So now the count goes to 3-0. First base coach of the Knights telling Stacy it's got to be there. She's well in command, 3-0. So Alexis Gutierrez at first base. 3-0 count on Stacy Radke, and here's the pitch. They're going to give that ball 4. And so now right away, you've got runners at first and second, nobody out, and trouble starting. So now the Mount Carmel Sun Devils will take a timeout for a short meeting. There's a nice bunt and a throw and an out. That's Rachel Lancaster putting down the sacrifice bunt, and now with 1 away, the Knights have runners at first and second and in great scoring opportunity. That's Alexis Gutierrez at third base, Stacy Radke at second, 1 away, and up to bat is number 11, Kim McCaskey. Kim flied out her first time up, and there's a strike. So the first real scoring threat for the Knights here in this ball game. Top of the 5th inning, 1 away. Alexis Gutierrez at third base. Fouled back for strike number 2. That's what Kim wanted to try and do, is put the ball in play and possibly get it by either Christy Hamilton or what the attempt is going to be is if they're going to try and do a bunt, and you've got both Allison Felony and Rochelle Biber up. They're going to try and squeeze the ball past those two, hope that it gets by to get a scoring opportunity for Alexis at third. Here's the pitch. It's slow. He gets away. Little technical difficulty there. Let's recap where we stand right now. We've got 1 away, bases loaded with Kim McCaskey reaching first base. Sharp shot by Amy Dent. She was out in front of that one a little too much. Straighten that one out, and it could be trouble in any ballpark. But bases are loaded. You've got Kim McCaskey at first base, Stacy Radke at second base, and Alexis Gutierrez ready to charge in from third. Pressure's on Mount Carmel, and here's the pitch. And it's outside and high. So the pressure's on now. Kelly Warner. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Amy Dent. And it's going to be up to the Mount Carmel defense to shut down any scoring opportunity. Foul. So the count stays 2-2. They want to keep the ball on the ground, and they want to be able to force the play at the plate. And so you've got Allison Felony, number 7 at first base, and Rachel Biber, number 3 at third base, in close. You've got the second baseman, Jen Tandrich, doing the same thing. She's playing in. Swinging a foul back, and it's Amy Dent staying alive. Amy's first up, getting out on a grounder, going 2-3 on a bunt attempt, and then reaching safely in the 4th inning on an error. It's her turn to see what she can do, and here's the pitch. Once again, out in front on the swing. And the count remains changeup. Tried to pull the string on that one, and it was Amy just getting a piece of that. That was a payoff pitch that Kelly Warner wanted to pull the string on. She did, but it was a quick reaction by Amy Dent that got a piece of it. So count remains the same. Deep shot coming up. There's a throw. Fantastic play. Let's give credit now to Erin Ron. She came up strong. The ball looked deeper than I thought it, or it looked it was going to be deeper than it was. Ended up dying and causing Erin to have to run into it. Caught the ball and immediately threw a near perfect strike to Brandy Chavez, keeping any of the runners from San Marcos Knights from advancing. And so now we have 2 outs. And that's a big out, bases loaded. And that was a tremendous out and a tremendous play by Erin Ron because they kept any runners from advancing or scoring. And so now we have Jackie Jimenez who does the same thing, and that's going to be trouble as it goes to the fence. Here's the relay by Mount Carmel, and with a stand-up double, it clears the bases. Jackie Jimenez with a stand-up double down the left field line, clearing the bases and putting the San Marcos Knights in ahead. Well, that was 2 batters in a row that was just honing in on Kelly Warner's pitches. It had been Amy Dent earlier who was way out in front on Kelly Warner, which meant they had their honing skills out. And then, of course, it was Jackie Jimenez who came up and then cleared the bases. So give Jackie a stand-up double. Coming in to score, Alexis Gutierrez, Stacy Radke, and Kim McCaskey. And so now the score is 3-0. And the next batter up is going to be Christy Hamilton. Just inside on a hard pitch. Erin Ron had made a fantastic play the batter before last, but it was Jackie Jimenez who put a rope down the third base side and cleared the bases for San Marcos Knights. So we're in the top half of the 5th inning, 3-0. San Marcos Knights and Mount Carmel now trying to get some outs as there's 2 out. Strike call down the middle. 1-1 is the count. Toughest job for any pitcher is to get under the boiler pressure cooker, and that is when you've got some bases loaded in an important game such as this, and they're going to call that low. Encouragement given by Allison Felony to her teammate Kelly Warner, telling her that it's okay and to settle down. At this point, it's going to be important for Kelly, a senior at Mount Carmel, to reach deep in. So that's ball number 4, and that puts Christy Hamilton now at first base. Jackie Jimenez with the stand-up double remains at second.
There we go, there we go.
Substitute batter coming in for Jessica Jenkins, number 3, who is now being replaced. So the count is now 1-1. We'll check on the substitute batter who's coming in place of Jessica Jenkins. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. And Mount Carmel trying to distinguish any type of further threat or scoring by San Marcos.
Come on, Julie.
Swinging a high pitch.
Relax up there.
Pinch hitting is number 12, Julie Whitson. That's Whitson pitch hitting. Julie Whitson swings at strike 3, and that'll do it for San Marcos, but the damage is done here in the top half of the 5th inning with the score San Marcos Knights 3, Mount Carmel nothing. Last half of the 5th inning, Jessica Jenkins still on the mound as Aaron Ron takes the first pitch high for ball 1. So the damage was done in the top half of the 3rd by the San Marcos Knights. After the dust was settled, the score is now 3-0 in favor of San Marcos Knights, and now it's Mount Carmel needing to get something started and in a hurry. Swing and a miss for Aaron Ron. 1-1 the count. So it was the 2-time defending Division I champion San Dieguito who was looking to become the first mid or large size school to win 3 consecutive CIF San Diego section titles. But it was Mount Carmel High School in the semifinals match who beat them and knocked them out of the playoffs 1-0. And Mount Carmel is looking to see if they can hope to get something together to come back and perform the same miracle against San Marcos. So there's a hot shot to the second baseman, Stacy Radke, who flips it over to Kim McCaskey. The play going 6-3 for the first out in the bottom half of the 5th inning.
Let's go, Brandy! Hey, what's up, Brandy?
Brandy Chavez now up. Brandy Chavez, catcher for Mount Carmel. Moving up close in the front of the batter's box. Low at the knees. There's ball 1. So Mount Carmel did what they wanted to do, and that was knock out San Dieguito in a real good game, 1-0. Kelly Warner, the winning pitcher in that game. Swing and a foul back. Strike 1 for Brandy. And on the other side, it was San Marcos Knights mowing through Poway in the quarterfinals. And up against San Marcos, it was San Marcos 1 over RBV in the finals. Out in front of that one. Count now 1 ball, 2 strikes to Brandy Chavez. Jessica Jenkins into a windup now before she goes. That could drop, and it doesn't. It carried it up nicely. Coming on nicely, that was Rachel Lancaster. Comes up nicely and makes the grab. So that's out number 2 with a fly ball to the left field. And now coming up is Wendy Hanlon, number 8. Wendy Hanlon, right fielder. Pitch. And caught. That was a nice drive. Nice drive by Wendy Hanlon. Just simply got caught up in the wind. Didn't have much mustard on it. It was taken in nicely by Jackie Jimenez. That's out number 3. And so after 5 full innings of play, it's San Marcos Knights 3, Mount Carmel nothing. Top half of the 6th inning here at Mesa del Sol Ballpark. Mount Carmel High School going up against and battling San Marcos. The Knights of San Marcos, and they have a lead. San Marcos ahead 3-0 going into this inning. Swing and a miss. Chrissy Wells.
Go, Chrissy Wells.
So the Knights, who lost their opener of the season and at one point were 3-2, won 18 of their last 20 games to become only the 3rd team in history to go undefeated in the Avocado League. Ball bounces down low. And with the help of Jessica Jenkins and sophomore leadoff hitter Alexis Gutierrez, who coming into today's game was batting .456 with a school record 45 hits. Now out in front of Mount Carmel here in the top of the sixth, 3-0. Foul ball. So the shadows are growing longer here at Mesa del Sol. Base hit up the middle. Solid base hit now by Chrissy Wells, number 2, and that went right up the pipe. And give her credit for staying with the pitch. It puts her on first base. So a solid single for Chrissy Wells. And that's going to bring up Alex Gutierrez. Alexis scoring in the fifth inning. Started out with a base hit and was part of that 3-run rally that's put the Knights out in front 3-0. Yeah. New pitcher out on the mound, replacing Kelly Warner, is now going to be number 2. That's Casey O'Neill. At pitcher. So let's take a look what's happening now here. Casey O'Neill now moves to pitcher. Casey O'Neill moving from shortstop. So we have some position changes I'd like to go over for you from Mount Carmel High School. Pitching now is Casey O'Neill, number 2. At shortstop is now number 11, Jennifer Tandrich. And taking over the duties at second base is number 1, Sarah Hirschman. Sarah Hirschman now at second base. So top half of the 6th inning is where we are, and Casey O'Neill now taking over the duties. First pitch is high. And it's Alexis Gutierrez taking high from Casey O'Neill. Strike down the middle. Speed on that one. Casey O'Neill putting the fire on the ball on that one. At first base, number 2, Chrissy Wells, getting on with a solid single to center field. Swing and a miss. Foul tipped for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes is the count on Alexis Gutierrez. Alexis with a single on her last at-bat came in and scored as part of that 3-run uprising in the 5th. Hit by a pitch was Alexis Gutierrez, so now she'll move to first base, and it's Chrissy Wells now moving into second. Stacy Radke now coming up to the plate. Stacy getting on base in the 5th inning on a base on balls, coming around to score as well. Strike called. So Casey O'Neill with a lot of firepower in her right arm, and she's putting it across the plate and challenging the hitters of San Marcos to put the bat on the ball. San Marcos during the regular season, 12 shutouts and allowed only 20 runs all season long. So their defense and their pitching is doing just as well. Another batter hit by a pitch as Casey O'Neill is just simply trying to get her control. Casey playing shortstop for the first 5 innings, trying to come in now and do the job for Mount Carmel as pitcher, having a little problems now with control as she's hit 2 consecutive batters. So now we're in a position that bases are loaded. Chrissy Wells at third, Alexis Gutierrez at second, and now Stacy Radke at first. Strike called. That's what Casey O'Neill needs to do right now, is be throwing strikes, keep the ball on the ground, and hope that the Mount Carmel defense now can cut off and make the throw to a force at home, keeping any more runs to score. There's a hot shot, gets through the infield. And give credit to Rachel Lancaster. Rachel coming up and putting the bat on the ball and getting a single. So that brings home Chrissy Wells, making it 4-0 and moving up and keeping the bases loaded now. So Alexis Gutierrez is now at third, Stacy Radke at second, Rachel Lancaster at first. Strike on the inside corner. Kim McCaskey at the plate. Strike called. So the pressure now all of a sudden is on Casey O'Neill, who came in to relieve Kelly Warner. Casey finds herself in a pressure cooker herself, bases loaded. Nobody out here in the top of the 6th inning. Out in front on that one, sails foul on the third base side. Kim McCaskey's been out in front like that most of the day. Ready to pounce on another pitch by Casey O'Neill. So Casey comes into this game hoping to help out her team, only to find herself in a pressure cooker situation. Bases loaded, no outs. Score 4-0, top half of the 6th inning. Mount Carmel needing something to happen to put out this fire. Nice stop by Brandy Chavez, keeping the ball in front of her. The ball was down in the dirt as it came across the plate. Give credit to Brandy Chavez as she puts her body in front and keeps the ball in front of her. That ball, if gone to the back wall, could have been trouble. One ball, 2 strikes is the count. Just inside. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on a real close shave back. Casey O'Neill just trying to find the corner, just trying to get a strike wherever she can. Mount Carmel needs a big out right now. Infield in for the force at the plate. They want the ball on the ground, and here's the pitch. Low. So that's going to run the count now full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the pressure continues to be on Mount Carmel and Casey O'Neill. Strike 3. Big strikeout for Casey O'Neill as she put the mustard on that ball down low, and it was a big swing and a miss by Kim McCaskey, and that is a big, big out for Mount Carmel. Give credit for Casey O'Neill for coming back, digging deep, finding the pitch she needed. She did the job. And Amy Dent, number 15. Reached first base on an error last time out. So there's one away here in the 6th inning. Bases are still loaded, and it's Amy Dent Mount Carmel defense, infield in. Swing and a miss. Strike called. Fouled back on that. Got a piece of the ball. It dribbled back and away. No balls, 2 strikes to Amy Dent. And now Casey O'Neill is going to reach for the magic one more time and see if she can do it again. The ball's got to be down on the ground so the infield can eat it up and make the throw to home plate to force it out and keep any run from scoring. And here's the pitch. Casey O'Neill pulling the string with an off-speed pitch on that one. It was just low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now Casey going to have to do it again. There's a dribbler. Dead ball foul is the call. Count will remain 1 ball, 2 strikes, and they'll do it again. Casey settling down now, finding the target over the plate, and she's got the mustard on it to keep it at bay. Outfield straight away, playing somewhat shallow, needing to come up on anything that gets through the infield. Out in front is a hard shot. Amy Dent in front of that one as she was before. It was Amy Dent with 2 or 3 consecutive foul balls to the left field area like that before Jackie Jimenez came in after her and straightened one out down the third base side for a stand-up double, clearing the bases and making the score 3-0 in the 5th inning. Amy Dent's been out in front like that all day long. And here's the pitch. And pulled the string on that one. She'd been looking to do that earlier, and it was called a ball. And Casey O'Neill, give her credit, she's come back now and struck out 2 consecutive batters. And now there's 2 gone, 2 away in the top half of the 6th. Casey's going to reach down and try it one more time, and the batter up, Jackie Jimenez. Jackie with a stand-up double that cleared the bases and opened up the floodgates for the 3-0 run rally in the 5th inning. And now it's Casey O'Neill's turn to do it one more time and put out the fire. Ball getting away, and coming in to score is number 13, Alexis Gutierrez. Wild pitch by Casey O'Neill, and the runners advance. Just a little low, bouncing in the dirt, and it was Brandy Chavez, who was trying to cover it up. Brandy was doing a fantastic job all day long. That one just squeaked by her and allowed Alexis, who has a lot of speed, to come in. Just low. So Jackie Jimenez takes her second ball low, and it's now 2 balls, no strikes. There's a shot in the infield. Nice grab. Very good. Nice play by Jennifer Tandrich. Keeps the ball from going into the outfield, but another run scores and give a single now to Jackie Jimenez. Doing a good job with the bat today. Last bat up attempt was a stand-up double. Now she gets a single and drives in another run. So now the score is 6-0 in the top half of the 6th inning. San Marcos Knights now mounting quite a lead. Strike on the inside corner. Quick throw back to the third base, trying to catch Rachel Lancaster off guard. Runners at the corners. Jackie Jimenez with a single, bringing in another RBI for herself. Rachel Lancaster at third base. Christy Hamilton at the plate. Swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes to Christy Hamilton. 2 outs, and Casey O'Neill trying to put the ball into play with either a strikeout or to give her defense an opportunity to shut it down. Strike 3 called. And give Casey O'Neill a fantastic standing ovation. Casey keeping the damage to a minimum, striking out 3 batters in that inning. But the damage is done, and after A half an inning of play as we go in. 5.5 innings of play completed. It's 6-0 in favor of San Marcos Knights. Bottom half of the 6th inning, scores 6-0 in favor of San Marcos. It's Jessica Jenkins on the mound. Strike called against Natalie Walker. It's been a combination for San Marcos of excellent pitching by Jessica Jenkins combined with some good, strong power hitting by the San Marcos Knights. And they've combined together for not only a shutout, but a commanding 6-0 lead as we go into the bottom half of the 6th inning. Jessica Jenkins, sophomore standout, and at the same time giving credit to the power of the bat. Jackie Jimenez, who's had a tremendous day today. Ball low. So Natalie Walker now battling at the plate. Nice play. Alexis Gutierrez doing a great job. Soft hit heading towards center field. Alexis Gutierrez running over, sticking out that left-handed glove and making a nice grab for the first out of the inning. Strike called. Jen Tandrich taking a strike. Jessica Jenkins continues to be strong in her delivery. It's what's made her have a record of 17-2 this season. Low and bounces away for ball one. So bottom half of the 6th inning, one away. 6-0 is the score in favor of San Marcos. Up to bat is Jen Tandrich. 1-1 the count. Strike two called. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and Jessica Jenkins continues to dominate the Mount Carmel batters. Drive and foul. So there was a drive pretty deep, hooked foul on the left-hand side, drifting out of play and out of the fence line. So the count will remain 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jen Tandrich. Kim McCaskey. Called strike 3. Nice pitch by Jessica Jenkins, what they call pull the string on that one. And it was Jen Tandrich caught looking on this strike 3 call. So 2 down now, bottom of the 6th. Sarah Hirschman now up to bat. Sarah Hirschman, first time up batting. First pitch up high. So Sarah Hirschman, who came in to replace Jen Tandrich at second, Jennifer moved over to shortstop, with Casey O'Neill moving from shortstop to pitcher. And so Sarah Hirschman with ball 1, and now another ball high for 2. San Marcos working on a shutout in today's final match competition. 12 shutouts allowed in 20 games. Right back to Jessica Jenkins and a throw over to Kim McCaskey. And that does it now with a score of 1-3, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. So after 6 full innings of play, we see the San Marcos Knights 6, Mount Carmel nothing. Top half now of the 7th inning. Score San Marcos 6, Mount Carmel nothing. Mount Carmel in the outfield now. San Marcos Knights up to bat. And the bats of San Marcos have been active today. Ball called. Kim McCaskey up to bat. Kim McCaskey flied out their first time up. Out on her second. Jessica Jenkins is up to bat right now. That's number 3, Jessica Jenkins, the pitcher. That's ball 4, and Jessica moves to first base. Jessica flied out her first time up and second time. Base on balls now on her third time up, but it's Jessica Jenkins and her arm that's been doing the job. Chrissy Wells now moves up. Chrissy Wells, base on balls her first time up, flied out her second, got a single her third time and scored, and now she'll be up for her fourth time. So it's the San Marcos Knights have been doing a very good job. Taking a strike is Chrissy. Unofficial box score through 6. It's 6 runs on 8 hits with 1 error. Mount Carmel, no runs on 3 hits and no errors. We'll get a final box score at the end of the game. So it's Casey O'Neill at the helm. And battling Casey is Chrissy Wells, right fielder for San Marcos. Ball called. So it was Chrissy getting a single last time out, and in the 6th inning coming around to score and help San Marcos build this 6-0 lead is where we stand right now. Remained a beautiful day, and as we go into the twilight of the evening, it's going to be no problem really for the outfielders as their backs are facing the setting sun and gives a full unobstructed view of any balls coming to them, either in the air or on the ground. Three and 1 is the count to Chrissy Wells. Casey O'Neill now trying to come back. Strike is the call, so that'll take it to a full count, 3 and 2. Jessica Jenkins on at first base with her base on balls. And so the evening has been a nice one, clear and crisp. The sun begins to set towards the Pacific. Light breeze now still on the mountain. Chrissy Wells swings early on that pitch as it fouls out over the third base side. Giant shadows now covering most of the outfield and now creeping their way into the area over by second base, shortstop. First base covered up a little bit by the same shadows. You got third base still open in the sun as well as the pitcher's mound. Strike 3 called by Casey O'Neill. And Casey O'Neill has done an absolute gem of a job coming in after she settled down.
Now batting for the San Marcos Knights, Alexis Gutierrez.
So it's 1 away now, and it's Alexis Gutierrez coming up. Alexis having a fine game. Alexis on base twice, on balls 3 times, including a base hit, scored twice. Alexis doing a fine job for the offense of San Marcos Knights. Dribbler down the first base side, taken by Allison Felony herself, and that'll be 2 down. So Alexis went with the inside pitch, dribbled it down the first base side. Allison Felony takes the ball, looked for Sarah Hirschman, who wasn't there in time and decided to take it herself, and we got 2 down here in the top of the 7th. Stacy Radke now comes up. Stacy once again having a productive game. Stacy, the last 2 at-bats, both times on base with balls. And that one is called low. Stacy, base on balls, the last 2 up at bats, scored both times herself, adding to the offensive scoring power of the San Marcos Knights. There's a shot, picked up nicely and thrown out. Nice play by Sarah Hirschman as that play goes 4-3. And after 6.5 innings of play, it remains San Marcos 6, Mount Carmel nothing. Last half of the 7th inning, Casey O'Neill at plate, and it's Jessica Jenkins. Jessica going all the way for San Marcos Knights, doing a fantastic job. And it's a big uphill climb for Mount Carmel, as they've got to overcome a 6-run deficit with just 3 outs remaining in this championship game. Strike called, and the count goes 1-1 on Casey O'Neill. Casey, this will be your 3rd time up this game. Getting on base her 2nd time, and there's a nice swing. First time up, flied out. 2nd time, reached to 2nd base, and now she's up for only her 3rd time today. Give credit to the great pitching and defense of San Marcos, keeping the Mount Carmel Sun Devils at bay all game long on the strong leadership and throwing capabilities of sophomore sensation Jessica Jenkins. Tried to pull the changeup, off-speed pitch, just missing inside on that one. Casey O'Neill, who came in a great job coming in off to relieve. Strike 3 call. Nice pitch right over the plate. Caught Casey looking, and that's the first out of this inning. And a strikeout once again for Jessica Jenkins. Shot down. There's error. Dead ball, almost taking out the cameraman on that one, and that was Jenny Demofonte with a strong hit, and then an error will be charged against Stacy Radke, shortstop, and Stacy's finding it quite funny that she gave that throw, and of course you can see they're in good spirits around there. Close call for George, the cameraman, showing his quick speed and ducking out of the way at the last minute. That'll be an error for San Marcos. So now running for Mount Carmel will be number 6, Brandy Cobb. Cobb in and running now for Jenny Demofonte. Brandy Cobb into 3rd easily, had a great jump on the pitch. The ball was high and up, but it wouldn't have mattered because Brandy having a great jump on that. Down to 3rd base she goes. And Allison Felony now at the plate. Will try and hit Brandy Cobb in and start any type of rally they can, because this is it for Mount Carmel. Shout dancing over 3rd base, and in comes Brandy. And it's Allison Felony who comes in with a bouncing single over the head of Christy Hamilton at 3rd base. And now the score 6-1 with Aaron Ron now coming up to bat. 1 down in this inning, 2 outs left, 6-1 is the score. And now running for Allison Felony will be number 9, Jen Johnson. Jen Johnson pinch running for Allison Felony. 1 down. Jen Johnson now at 1st base running, and it's Aaron Ron at the plate. Aaron with a single her first time up, reaching 3rd base before the inning ended. Going 6-3 out in her inning up at 6th inning. So any little bit of luck any bit of momentum at this point is slightly edging towards Mount Carmel as they're desperately trying to muster a 5-run rally here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Strong throw by Jessica Jenkins as she puts the ball over the plate. And so now the count is 1-1 to Aaron Ron. Jessica Jenkins going all the way and even lowering even farther at the rate it's going right now. Strike call at the knees. So 2 strikes now. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Aaron Ron. Infield in tight with first and third. Shortstop and second base staying at a natural depth. Swing to stay alive for Aaron Ron. Jessica Jenkins continuing to throw the heat as she did from the first start of the first inning. And that means that each of these batters, although they've seen her, they've been perplexed and blanked by the hard-throwing Jessica Jenkins. Strong throw across. That'll be out number 2. Ball down third base side. Nice throw over to Kim McCaskey. And that's out number 2. So now it's Mount Carmel down to their last out and their last chance to have any type of comeback in today's game. Brandy Chavez at the plate. Ball 1 called. Throw to first base, and that will do it for the San Marcos Knights. Putting the ball out with that throw, 5-3 on that play, and San Marcos Knights, the Division I champs, with a final score of 6-1. And we'll be back with post-game interviews and a final comment right after this.
San Marcos High School Knights. Marco High School, 1990 Division I champion.
Dan Williams here with two of the teammates on this winning team, the Division I team champs. It goes to the San Marcos High. And what's your woo!
She talks.
Okay. Well, these are the Knights. I was trying to get them to yell Knights at the same time, but we had, so let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Stacy Radke, undefeated the whole way. Next to me is
Sarah Weber.
Sarah. I know that you were out, at least that they're supporting the team. I wanted to ask you a couple questions. When we were at the tie and nothing had happened, what was going on in the dugout? Were you guys trying to get yourselves pumped up?
We were just cheering everyone on and just had a positive attitude and stuff. We knew that they could pull it through.
So what happened in the 5th inning when it all broke loose for you guys?
Jackie Jimenez, man, she just hit a double, scored 3 people, and that's how it started out.
What do you think about the team that you played today?
They're a good team. They had a good game.
But you guys had a better team, right? Yeah. Absolutely. Well, listen, let's show the trophy right here that you have. Division I team champs, the Knights of San Marcos. That's all right. Congratulations to both of you guys.
Thank you.
We have with me Christy Hamilton and Kim McCaskey, right? Yeah. The corners, 3rd and 1st. You know, you guys were in. I mean, you guys were ready for those bunts all day long. But, you know, I tell you what, the last 2 outs was made by you with some strong throws across the field to first base. Tell me about that 3rd base spot. How hot was it today?
You just got to pounce. I got to say, you just got to pounce.
Oh, my God.
It was real hot.
Pounce
you did. Now, how hard is it? How hard is it to take throws from her from 3rd?
I got the laughies. Okay. What was the question?
I said, how hard is it to take a throw from her?
It's not hard at all.
So what was the turnaround? You guys were going into the 5th inning and it was scoreless, and then all of a sudden you guys just broke loose, and then for the next 2 innings just dominated the team. What happened out there?
We have team unity, and we all brought it together, and we all wanted it.
Yeah, that's it.
We like it. We love it.
We want some more of it. Yeah!
We like to sing, you know.
Well, tell me about. I want you to tell me about the corners. Now, are you guys the tandem that plays every game at that position?
Mm-hmm.
So you guys have got you've got the whole routine down, is that right?
Oh, yeah.
It's like a dance, you know?
Yeah, you get it
like
down.
this.
It's just normal now. It's a rhythm. You keep that rhythm.
It's a rhythm.
It's a rhythm.
So what was it like going up against the Mount Carmel pitcher today? She was pretty good out there.
I don't know. She was pretty good, but we shook her up, and she didn't do too good after we did that.
That's true, absolutely. Listen, congratulations, both of you. We see you've got the trophy once again, Division I champion, San Marcos Knights. Congratulations, girls.
Thank you. Woo!
2 more of the star team members, and of course all of them were stars today on this team, but we've got Jessica Jenkins on my far side, and we've got Amy Dent right here. Jessica pitching, Amy catching. First of all, congratulations to both of you. You guys were out there the whole game. Jessica, let me ask you a question, your stamina. You started strong, you ended strong. Is that typical for you?
Usually, yeah.
But you're soft-spoken, so where does all this energy and power come from?
I don't know. I've just been pitching for a while, so.
Now, let me ask you a question. Do you have any younger brothers or sisters?
I have a younger brother.
Okay, so his irritation might have something to do with it as a form of motivation?
Could be.
Amy, you were back there and did a great job all game long. What's it like to catch for her?
Actually, it's pretty easy. She can control her pitches really well, so.
Are you in control of calling the pitches out there for her?
Yeah, I am.
What were you calling out there a lot of for her?
Rise. And tried to call curve, but she wouldn't pitch it. But it's all right.
So for you guys, this is a culmination of a fantastic season. I know you went undefeated in the Avocado League, which is great, and this just adds to that, so congratulations on that. But what about your teammates? Do you have anything you'd like to say to your teammates?
What up?
Thank you very much. 2 more star players from San Marcos. Near me, Chrissy Wells, right fielder, and the corner on the other side is Rachel Lancaster. Congratulations to both of you. Correct? Okay. Now, you guys are the corners and the outfielder. As the sun was setting, you started getting shadows out there. Did that cause any problems for you?
No.
Okay, Rachel, let me talk about you. Do you remember what happened on your first at-bat? Well, let me tell you, you got on base, but what I wanted to find out from you is, during the game, and you're playing in left field, are you guys communicating out there? Are you shifting over? Did you play just straight away this game, or what was the idea out there?
Yeah, we talk a lot out there right before we go.
Do you always talk for her as well?
Yeah.
You just stand around and just hold the plaque, is that right? Okay. So what was the communication out there? What were you doing mostly? Were you just straight away?
Well, like every time a certain batter comes up, one of us usually knows about her, and so they'll say switch over, like would be Jackie, and then she says don't drop it. You know, she basically, we tell everyone what we know about the other batter.
Mm-hmm. And then talk to me about what happened in the 6th inning. You got on base?
Yeah, that was like just swing and hit it.
Is that pretty much what you do? Is just do you keep your eyes open?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now you guys are really good, and congratulations on the entire season. Now, how long have you been playing for San Marcos?
Oh, geez, 2 years. Oh, you mean the high school or
Yeah.
San Marcos?
Just in San Marcos area.
Oh, we've been playing since we were like 7.
So a long time.
Yeah.
And you're going to continue on. Now, what grade are you in?
We're both sophomores.
Sophomore, so you have 2 more years to go. So great. So you guys are just going to get stronger and better as the seasons go on. Again, congratulations, and good luck to you in the future.
Thanks.
With me on the far side is Alexis Gutierrez, and nearest to me is Jackie Jimenez. Congratulations to both of you, and we'll start since you're next to me. Jackie, you know, it was a scoreless game until you came up, and you did something very special. Tell me about what happened, and just describe the play.
Bases were loaded, and I got up confident and relaxed, and I was ready for the first pitch, and I went down the line left field and got a double.
I tell you what, you caused a lot of havoc out there. The bases were loaded, a lot of pressure on Mount Carmel, and when you stroked that ball and cleared the bases, I think that was one of the nails in the coffin, at least for their motivation. It kind of went downhill after that, so good job in your batting, and also as well as your defense, because both of you guys do very well out there. And Alexis, tell me about how you played out there today, just in your own words.
We just went out there confident, like, you know, it was just another game. It was a big game, but it was just another game, and came to do a job, and we got it done. Got to do what you got to do.
Now, how much range do you usually try and stay with at the second base position? Are you usually all over the place, or?
You try to be all over. You try to, of course, be all over, but this game especially, I had good range.
Now, for both of you guys, you guys are very talented ball players. How do you fit schoolwork in with baseball? Do you have time for both?
Yeah, we definitely have time. Practice gets over like around 5:30, and we have time to get home and eat and do our stuff.
Stuff. What? Okay, you have school, you have baseball. What else do you have to do besides that? What do you guys like to do in the off time when you don't have to go to baseball practice?
Well, we have travel, but that's still baseball, softball.
We have a softball.
Okay,
we have
so
a lot of we're on a
You're on traveling squads as well.
Yes. It's usually always softball.
Softball always comes first. In other words,
Well, it definitely shows out there in your batting, your defensive skills, as well as offense. Congratulations on a great season. You can say that. You want to say hi to anybody else?
Mom, Dad, my brother, what's up?
Just the whole fam that came out and supported.
Oh, and the power team. Guy mentioned power.
Simmons, thanks. Okay.
That's it.
Congratulations, girls. Standing next to me is head coach Lynn Gann. Lynn, congratulations on a great win today.
Thank you.
The girls just exploded in that fifth inning and went on to just dominate the rest of the game, if not the whole game from start to finish. Jessica is a tremendous pitcher, but it's a whole team that kind of gelled together.
It's been a team effort all year. They're very young. We've got only 3 seniors, but they've gelled. The seniors have good leadership from our seniors, but they have fun together, and that's been the real key for us, is they enjoy each other's company.
Well, you can see that they were having fun out there, not only because it was a win, but that they were just enjoying playing the game. Now, how important was it to the team to go 14-0 and undefeated, only the 3rd team in history to do that?
It's been good. What's really helped us is we've won our last 18 in a row, and the kids just have worked hard. They never talked about going undefeated until after the last game. Then they said, yes, we're undefeated. So it really wasn't a focal point. They just have fun playing the game.
Well, I could see that, and when it came down to needing to make the plays, they did it, so you could see they were focused. Does that come within themselves, or do you have something to do with that?
No, it's the best defensive team we've ever had. We've got 12 really good athletes. I never worried about their defense. I just thought if we could score 2 runs, we would beat anybody, and that's what happened today.
Well, congratulations, San Marcos Knights, Division I champs, right here in the ARCO AM/PM Division I softball championships. Thanks again, Coach.
Thank you.
Well, that'll do it for me here in Mesa del Sol Field. It was a fantastic game in the Division I championships. It was Mount Carmel 1, but it was the San Marcos Knights 6 on a domineering pitching by Jessica, as well as just some great timely hitting by the team. I'm Dan Williams. You can hear them in the background. That's the San Marcos Knights doing their job and celebrating. I'm Dan Williams, and on behalf of George Langevin Productions, we'll see you again soon.